every so often there's a relationship that extends beyond that of a player and coach. That's precisely the case with Lockwood head coach Bobby Anderson and Billings Central assistant Pat Hansen. Anderson played underneath Hansen at Laurel, and the two families have remained incredibly close throughout the years.
Bobby's made me a better coach. I think he saved me a couple of times to stay within the profession because of who he is and what he stands for.
It's cool just to see where our relationship has evolved and where it's continued to evolve, and watching him with my son is one of the coolest things. Right? Another grandparent in his life that Bronson gets to be around. So him and Trish are great. We love them to death, and what they do for our family is just phenomenal.
That relationship has taken on a different dynamic of late, with Hansen wearing the very gear that he taught Anderson and his former Locomotive players to despise.
As a competitor, I hate it. I mean, there was a rule in Pat's system: you do not wear green, and I still hold to that rule very strongly.
It's kind of funny because I was always in Laurel. In class, if you wore green on game day, you played Central, we automatically would fail you.
Anderson was in junior high when Hansen made his way to Laurel from Gardner. It was pretty clear from the get-go that Anderson and Hansen were almost a tailor-made pairing.
I think by the time I got to a senior, we had a spot where people from the crowd were watching us. You'd think that we were butting heads, but it was just two competitors wanting to win. My father's the same way, and then another mentor in my life, Jim O'Neill, was kind of the same way too. So playing for Pat was a dream for me, especially. He knew what button to push at the right time, even if that was to irritate me, if that's to take me to another level. But I still, to this day, he's the best coach I've ever played for.
In Central and Lockwood's first battle this season, Anderson paid homage to Hansen with a play call from his Laurel days, which Anderson renamed Traitor. But even throughout the battles on the hardwood, it's all love between the families.
I kind of want to say he's like a son to me, but he's a huge big brother to my kids. And when him and Auburn asked us to be the godparents of his first child, boy, it was one of the best days in the world. But I know that, the relationship he's built with my kids and how he can relate to them in ways just as a parent can relate to them. And I can't say enough how much he means to us and our family.
He's been coaching me basically my whole life, and that's a role that I love, and it's a role I actually hold him to too. There's times where he's kind of stopped coaching me, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why? Don't stop coaching me now. You've coached me my entire life. So now father figure, mentor, godfather to my son. Our families are extremely close. My entire brother and sister to me. My wife and I are best friends.
For MTN Sports, I'm Alec Boffinger.